You get into your vehicle to start your shift as an Uber-type driver. As you leave your house, you dream of one day being able to quit and follow your true passion of becoming a professional wrestler. But your life is cut short in one of the more bizarre and cold murders we've ever covered here on Crossing the Line. My name is M. William Phelps. I'm an investigative journalist and the true crime author of close to 50 books. I've dedicated the past 20 years of my life to helping families of the missing and murdered. Join me next for this Crossing the Line with M. William Phelps shortcut. "35-year-old Reggie Phelps has a dream he is vigorously pursuing: to become a full-time professional wrestler. Living in the Atlanta, Georgia region proves to be the best place for Reggie to work at fulfilling that dream, and the guy works very hard at it. Reggie is a good wrestler. The kids who come out to see his matches look up to him as a role model, and he never disappoints, giving them all the time and autographs they want. The wrestling name he uses, Reggie Rage, does not describe an inner anger or fury Reggie might harbor. Not even close. A fellow wrestler told Atlanta News First that Reggie is always happy. He's a good soul, life of the party, has a smile on his face every day. Reggie's family would describe him almost in the same manner. Reggie has that spark of life, the it factor, if you will, needed in the line of work he is so passionately determined to break into and make a name for himself. Reggie, of course, is in great physical condition. He has tattoos from one arm to the other and also covering his chest. Reggie had moved to Atlanta in 2012 from New Jersey so he could attend Clark Atlanta University, quickly found his passion for wrestling, and decided to pursue a career as a professional. As soon as he arrived in Atlanta, he took to the southern charm of the city and its suburbs, the people, and the social scene. I'm very proud of the man he became, Reggie's mother told 11 Alive, a local Atlanta news station. The most telling part of Reggie I get from reading about him is how friendly Reggie is. Not just to family and friends, which is easy for most of us, I think. But strangers and people he came into contact with throughout his everyday life, they just seem to love the guy. That sort of jovial, friendly demeanor is likely what drew Reggie toward supplementing his wrestling career with a part-time job as a Lyft driver. And we all know what that can be like for both drivers and passengers. In the north-central part of Georgia, Fulton County covers a good amount of landmass with varying degrees of suburbia and city life. This is the South. There is a lot of history, some of which is very hard to look back on, and yet we can never forget. I worked on a book in Fulton County once and spent some time driving all over the place. I can recall being with a production company filming a segment for a TV show about that book. The producer was from Hollywood. We were driving. She's behind the wheel. I kept telling her that down here, you cannot hover in the left lane on most of the roads, or you'll get pulled over. She kind of just kept on talking, ignored me, and paid no mind to what I was telling her. Well, sure enough, a sheriff's deputy pull us over. "I'm sorry, deputy," she says. "I am from Hollywood. I don't know the roads or the laws here, and I apologize." The sheriff, with his big head underneath a big Stetson, leaned down, took a squinted-eyed look inside the car, and, with that southern twang in his deep voice, I'll never forget, he says this: "Well, ma'am, you are not in Hollywood anymore." He gave her a nice fat ticket and let us get on our way. Balding, with a full beard under a cleanly shaved dome, 34-year-old Koby Minor has maybe one thing in common with Reggie folks: the idea of pursuing your dream and not allowing anyone to get in your way. Koby became an Atlanta police officer in 2018 and seemed to find his role on patrol a good fit for his personality, though I might question that now after finding out a few facts about the guy. I mean, in order to serve your community properly and be that great cop the community respects, admires, and has no trouble going to in a time of need is something that should never be taken for granted. With law enforcement agencies from coast to coast facing a crisis in applicants and good officers today, finding that perfect mix of charm, strength, tolerance, and acceptance, and the ability to socially navigate what can be a dangerous and tough job, it's not easy. And Koby, the department seemed to think when they hired him, filled that void pretty well. Where South Fulton Parkway intersects with Stonewall Tell Road in Union City, Georgia, there is an Amazon warehouse, which I refuse to call a fulfillment center, as Mr. $50 million wedding guy, Jeff Bezos, would like us to. This area I'm talking about is just to the southwest of Atlanta. It's near 12:38 a.m. on May 15th, 2024. Union City police officer Tam Phan takes a call from dispatch that there's been a person shot at that intersection of the city. So he heads out. At the scene already is Phan's sergeant. Pulling up, Phan can see a gray Nissan Rogue parked kind of mislined inside that intersection. It also looks like one of the windows is smashed. Phan gets out of his vehicle and takes a look at the Rogue. He can now see that the driver's side window has been shattered. In the road by that vehicle is a man, but he is not moving. He is instead stretched out on the road, his arms and legs spread wide. There is a police officer standing nearby, his weapon in his hands, trained on the man in the road. Upon a further look inside the Rogue, another man is slumped over, and Phan notices a gunshot wound to the right side of his face. It's a bloody scene inside the vehicle. The man driving the car could be alive, but if he is, they do not have much time left. The other man who had been lying in the road is now standing. Several police officers cuff him. He puts up no resistance whatsoever. "I'm a police officer," the man says after being cuffed. The other cops on scene holding him at gunpoint look at each other. "A police officer?" "Yes," he says, "in Atlanta." I'll be right back. I am not sure I believe in the credibility of this research, though it is written by a credible source. But one study I read contends that most people think about killing someone at times and are capable of violence under certain conditions. The latter part I'll buy into. I have read enough research about violence and interviewed enough sociopaths to understand that many out there in the world can snap and become violent at the drop of an insult. The former, though, is a bit of a leap for me and needs more study for me to sign off on. I am not so sure most people have thought about killing someone. In a survey of 5,000 people, which is a lot, I'll add, one professor of psychology at the University of Texas, Austin, found that 91% of men and 84% of women have had thoughts of killing someone. Of course, any one of us is capable of murder, but the situations in which many would commit murder are generally associated with what? Protecting self or family. We all know that. That is just a simple primal instinct within all of us. how we have evolved. Humans slept in caves, fearing that saber-toothed tiger or neighbor coming to get them or their families in the middle of the night. It's how anxiety developed in the brain. But I don't see 9 out of 10 men and 8 out of 10 women browsing the TJ Maxx or Home Goods thinking about murdering the son of a bitch next to them in line who might piss them off. Let's be real about it. There is definitely something behind the impulsive desire to want to actually take another life. An inherent anger buried deep inside. But there's a lot more going on than your common everyday stress and an afterthought of murder. There's no study of 5,000 people which could convince me otherwise. It's either that, or we walk around a world where just about everyone we encounter throughout our days has or is thinking about murdering someone, which is a scary-ass thought. When the man held at gunpoint there at the intersection of Stonewall Tell Road and South Fulton Parkway announces he is a cop, the Union City police officers, with weapons pointed at him, encouraged the dude to explain a little bit further. "My name is Koby Minor," he says. One officer explains when he pulled up to the scene earlier, that same guy, Koby Minor, was waving his hands in the air for help. So it's not as if Koby Minor had shot the dude inside the vehicle and taken off. So had someone else shot him, and Koby Minor was nearby and proceeded to help? Is there a perpetrator on the loose? Koby Minor says, no. He shot the man sitting in the driver's side of that Rogue parked nearby. There's no hiding this fact. He's guilty of killing that man. And he says as much. And here, as we get into the why part of Koby Minor shooting the Rogue driver, think about that study I mentioned and how vastly different your mindset might be to that of Koby Minor's, who is someone, I think we should note here, whose job it is to protect and serve life, not take it. He's a police officer. But here now, in this moment, he admits he shot a man and killed him. That man, slumped over and now pronounced dead inside the Rogue, is budding wrestling star Reggie Folks. Reggie had been working his second job as a Lyft driver when Koby Minor hired a car to take him home. From where? Nobody is certain of just yet. Since 2018, Koby Minor tells the Union City officers holding him, "I've been with the Atlanta PD." They check out his story and confirm it. Yet, they also learn that Koby Minor has been on leave recently for a prior incident. So the guy is somewhat prone to breaking the rules and now has, perhaps, crossed a line into murder. That incident, forcing Minor onto unpaid leave in December the previous year, led to Koby Minor handing over his department-issued firearm. The Atlanta PD confirms this. And so they have had custody of Koby Minor's gun since he was placed on leave, which means he not only carried his own weapon, but used it in the commission of a murder he has admitted to right there at the scene. The incident, Union PD soon learns, which got Minor suspended, included him crashing his car one night, and as officers searched that vehicle, they found a bunch of Xanax on him. He didn't have a prescription for it. As Koby Minor is brought in and questioned, he begins to explain what took place at that intersection and before. Reggie was driving Minor home. Reggie jumped on his cell phone at one point and began talking to someone over Bluetooth. "I heard a voice," Koby Minor explains, meaning the person on the other end of the line Reggie was talking to. They were speaking in a different language. So Minor didn't know what was being said. After that call, Minor says to Reggie, "Pull over and stop so I can get out." Reggie didn't respond, according to Koby Minor. At the next red light, Minor tries getting out of the vehicle, he claims, but the doors were locked and he begins to panic while realizing he cannot exit the vehicle. He gives no indication why suddenly he develops all of this paranoia. Based on a telephone call he could not understand. And Reggie, by the way, is posing no threat to this guy, who we now know was armed. Minor then says something very strange to the investigators interviewing him. Quote, "My driver was in a gay fraternity and was trying to recruit me into it, and I believed I was being kidnapped." So according to Koby Minor, he took all of that information from a conversation in a language he could not understand. Sounds like a bullshit story to me. I don't know. At one point, he says Reggie reached into the backseat to grab him, which doesn't make sense at all. And when he did that, Koby Minor says, he took out his weapon and fired a round into Reggie's head. What I'm not buying here is the idea that an armed man was scared of being kidnapped and taken to some sort of gay fraternity, which makes even less sense to me. I don't know if the driver was gay or not, Koby Minor goes on to tell Union City investigators. But when I couldn't see his other hand when he reached for me, I fired 3 rounds into him. Minor says he kicked out the window and let himself out of the vehicle and then called 911. Understanding homicide is a lifelong process of studying cases and the psychology behind those cases. We always try to get at the why part of murder. I talk about it here on the show a lot. The roots of violence, as we discussed earlier, date back to the cave and our development of anxiety based on survival. Societal influences are another part of murder we have not even touched on. Society plays a substantial role in the shaping of our behavior. That's no secret. Murder is a complex issue. We can't solve the riddle in one sitting or even years of study, I am convinced. Which is maybe one reason why we have this burning desire to consume true crime in the numbers we do. Yet when I see a case like this one, where Reggie is murdered for absolutely nothing, it baffles me even more. This one smells of homophobia to me. It seems that phrase, gay fraternity, triggered Koby Minor. If Reggie even said it to begin with. We don't know this for sure. We are taking Koby Minor, an admitted murderer, at his word. I mean, for all accounts and purposes, Koby Minor could have shot Reggie in cold blood, right? Gets in the car, they start driving down the road, they get to that intersection, bang. We don't know. We're taking Koby Minor at his word by what he says. Where's the gay fraternity evidence? And even if there is, what in the hell does that matter? Koby Minor was indicted in August 2024 for the murder of Reggie Phelps, a warm, caring, gentle soul who was pursuing his dreams of a professional wrestling career. Minor was charged with murder, felony murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and a few other miscellaneous charges associated with carrying a firearm. I didn't see any mention of a possible hate crime, which maybe we need to look at in this case. Koby Minor sits in prison and awaits the courts to get his case underway. I need more of an explanation here from Koby Minor. I need him to explain why he chose to kill instead of simply using his weapon to leave the vehicle. All because he could not see Reggie's other hand? I'm not buying it. That's it for this shortcut episode. Don't forget to tune into my regular weekly episodes of Crossing the Line with M. William Phelps, released every Wednesday night at midnight. And check out my iHeartMedia investigative podcast, Paper Ghosts, with the new season, number 5, The Texas Teen Murders, coming in late October 2025. Head over to patreon.com/MWilliamPhelps and sign up for my free content page, where I'll be interacting with you, doing live streams, posting exclusive content, and dropping a major limited series podcast exclusively for Patreon members. That's patreon.com/MWilliamPhelps. patreon.com/MWilliamPhelps. Be safe, be aware, be alert. Sources for this shortcut episode include He Was a Role Model by Carly Barnett, May 16, 2024, Atlanta News First. A 36-page criminal arrest warrant for Koby David Minor, Union City Police Department. Crossing the Line is executive produced by M. William Phelps, LLC, and Matthew Valentinas, Mom's Basement Management. Written by me, M. William Phelps. Audio mastering and mixing by Matt Russell. Music by Epidemic Sound. Original music written and performed by Thomas Mooney, Tom Phelps, and Matt Russell.